Hi guys, so I have created another little tutorial video, mostly for myself, so that when I go back to try and remember what I did, I can just watch the video and see what I did. But if you are interested and you're needing a little bit of help with your Bitmoji classroom in Schoology, maybe this can help. So the reason why I made this video was because I was struggling with getting my Bitmoji classroom, one, to be embedded in Schoology, and two, to look more like this than like this. So I was able to add it pretty easily, but then I was struggling with why these black bars were here, why this menu bar was here. So I did a lot of research, watched some videos, read a lot of posts, and I kind of figured it out for the most part. Again, I just learned how to do this today. I know there's better ways to do it, easier ways to do it. I've seen some that look way better than this. So please, if you have a resource that would help me kind of find a shortcut to this, let me know. All right, but if you're interested in kind of getting started, so first off, of course, you'll want to have your Bitmoji classroom. Mine is just pretty basic. I created it kind of quickly, so I want to go back and update it, but I put some different resources in, so we're just going to go with this one for now. All right, so first we're going to go to File, Publish to the Web. So you can either do a link or an embedded. I'm going to go ahead and do embedded. I'm going to copy this embedded code, and then you'll normally have to click Publish. Mine's already published, which is why it's grayed out. Okay, so we've got our publish to the web, and now we've got our embedded code. We're going to go back over to Schoology, and we're going to add materials to our page. So we're on this is my play around sandbox. I'm going to add a page. I've seen people do it different ways. I like the add page the best. Okay, so I have my code. If I were to just put it in here and I create it, it's going to, sorry. Okay, if I just did this, let me show you some mistakes that I've made. Okay, so it brings it down here to the bottom. So say I just did test. Ooh, all I see is the code. That's not going to work for me. So what happened is that I was in visual mode. So we don't want to be in visual mode. We need to toggle over here to HTML because this is a code that we're inserting. So I'm going to paste. Okay, got my code, pasted it in the HTML. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to save changes. All right. Okay, it looks good here, right? Okay, but let me go back to my main page because I want them to see it on my main page. Whenever you add something new, it's going to bring it to the bottom. Not really. Come on. Oh, really? Am I clicking the wrong? Sorry. There we go. Hold on. Where did it go? There we go. It just didn't pull it all the way. So Schoology is still something I'm working. Anyways, you just move it all the way to the top. So there you go. Looks a little different than this one though. So when I click on it, it shows up, but I want it to show up in my page initially. So what I found is that you have to display inline. So I had it displayed on a new page. I need to display inline. So we'll save changes. Okay, great. Let me go back. Awesome. So now it's here and now it pops up. They don't have to click on it, but it has these black bars on the top and bottom, and then it also has this menu bar for Google Slides. Don't really want that. I kind of want it to look cleaned up a little bit like this. So the trick that I found after doing some research is that it's all about coding, STEM class, teaching coding. Who would have thought that my problem's going to be solved by coding? Bam. All right. So here we go. We got to go to edit. We got to toggle back to HTML because we want to see the code. Now, here is where I know, like for me reading this, I don't really understand what all of these things mean, including the code that I'm about to add in that I found online. I'm still trying to learn. So if you understand what this code means, please let me know. So right here after the 3000, you're going to insert ampersand. So the add sign. So ampersand RM equals minimal. I'm guessing this is just going to minimize it somehow. All right, so we've got that in. Let's save changes and see what happens. Okay, so I see that my black bars are still there, but if you notice, I don't have this menu bar anymore. So that code must have taken away that menu bar. cool. But I still have these black bars. Not really feeling those. Don't really want them there. Probably need to go back and play with the code a little bit more. So let's do that. So back to edit we go. Toggle back to the HTML. And then what I found from the research that I did was that it has to do with the width and the height. So those black bars are there based on the height that I have set. So I found that I have to drastically reduce the height in order to get rid of those. So say I move it down to 500. Okay, let's see what that does. All right, so they got a little smaller, but they're still there. So it's a lot of trial and error. I played around with it over and over and over. Let's see if I got it down to 300, what would happen? Okay, 300 looks good. It took away the top and bottom, but now I have these two on the side. So really it's all about ratio, because if I change the numbers on the width and I don't change them on the height, you'll notice when you're playing around with it that it kind of doesn't do exactly what you're wanting it to. So the one that I found for me worked enough to make me satisfied was 620 and 340. So 620 width, 340 height. I'm going to save changes. And then I feel it looks decent. I know there's still some black here, so I'm sure I could get it even more, tailored to how it should look, but I'm pretty satisfied with this right now. So again, this was just kind of something that I learned today. Again, Bitmoji Classroom, you have to make one on Google Slides, then you'll publish it to the web, grab that code, and add it in as a new page. Make sure you add it to the HTML, make sure you update those codes, and then play around with the size. So hopefully this helps a little bit. If you know a better way, let me know.